I'm Jason, the world is yours, and today we have a story about UFC Middleweight Champion Israel Adesanya says, I'm going to turn the Alex Pereira fight into a horror movie at UFC 281. Quote, I want to make this a horror movie. That's UFC champion Israel Adesanya, who joined TMZ Sports, making it crystal clear he wants to do a lot more than simply defeat his rival Alex Pereira. When the two striking savants battle inside the octagon at UFC 281 inside MSG in New York City. I want to be the first person he sees when he wakes up. I want to make sure I'm right in his line of sight so he's looking at me, the 33-year-old Israel Adesanya says. Of course, Israel Adesanya and Pereira are headlining the November 12th card at UFC 281 with two title fights and a Chandler versus Poirier matchup, which will go down inside of Madison Square Garden. Okay. Israel and Alex fought twice previously before. Alex Pereira has won both times. Once in 2016, he won a decision. These are all kickboxing fights. He won a decision in 2016. And then the following year, 2017, what is it, 5 years ago? Almost 6 years ago, he knocked out Izzy Adesanya. Alex Pereira knocked out Izzy Adesanya, but those were in kickboxing fights, not MMA. Israel had a kickboxing record. Israel had a kickboxing record of 75-5, while Alex Pereira was 33-7. Wow, he lost a lot of kickboxing fights. That's a lot. That's a little bit surprising. We asked Adesanya, who fought and beat Jared Cannonier in July, if people were making too big a deal over his previous fights. 100%, even though, okay, this is a quote, 100%, even though the way you defend is different, the way you attack is different, it's kind of stupid sometimes. No disrespect to kickboxing. There's another quote, I've always felt my striking was better suited for MMA, for the glove size, but also the way, the freeness of attacking. I can clinch someone and trip them down. I can elbow, things like that. And I know he's good at like that as well, but I've been doing this a lot longer. The reality is Israel really lost kickboxing, but has never lost in his middleweight division in the UFC. His sole UFC loss came against the former light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz at light heavyweight, right? So this is going to be a good fight. I didn't really hear anything in here that says that why he's going to make this into a horror movie. There was a few other quotes about Israel saying that, you know, this is basically a personal fight, that whether this was for a title or not for a title doesn't really matter to him. Obviously, fighting someone who has defeated you twice is kind of a big deal. And obviously the extra pressure of being the champion, right? You know, if you're the champion, if this is just two people just fighting again, it is what it is. But, you know, in the back of your head, you have to know, or in the back of Israel's head, he has to respect that the last time he saw Alex Pereira in a fight, Alex Pereira left him knocked out. It wasn't a TKO. The referee didn't have to step in to stop the fight. He literally knocked Israel Adesanya out with kickboxing gloves on. Now they're going to be in an MMA fight. I respect Israel Adesanya's MMA career, but respectfully, he hasn't become like a wrestler in the UFC. He's still striking heavy and he sprawls. He has really good takedown defense, but he's still going to go into this fight as basically a striker. And I think with him in the striking battle versus Alex Pereira, we'll see, right? Maybe Alex Pereira knocks him out again. I think Alex Pereira is going to knock him out again in the third round. That's my pick for this fight. I have Alex Pereira beating Israel Adesanya in the third round by a KO. I feel like it's going to be kind of similar to their second fight. Like I said, when you watch Israel Adesanya fights, it's not heavy wrestling. He's not taking people down like I think he probably should. But that would be interesting if in this fight versus Pereira, instead of striking so heavy, maybe Israel Adesanya does try more takedown. Maybe Israel Adesanya does try more trips and gets Alex Pereira down on his back early in this fight. I think that would be interesting for Israel Adesanya because, you know, I think if he goes into, hey, let's just strike, let me just stand up and strike with Alex Pereira, he could probably, I can't say he could probably lose. He could definitely probably lose. And Alex Pereira is coming off of a KO finish over his last opponent. His last opponent was Sean Strickland, and Alex Pereira knocked Alex Pereira knocked out Sean Strickland in the first round. The last time Izzy Adesanya had a finish was Paulo Costa, right? I think that was a second round finish, and it was a TKO. But I don't think Israel Adesanya has any KO victories, right? Does he have any KO victories? Not that I could remember. I know he has a TKO victory, but I don't know if he has any KO victories in the UFC. So I'm pretty sure he respects that Alex Pereira is a threat. We will see. Let me know your opinion of this fight. Who do you think is going to win at UFC 281 main event? Undisputed middleweight champion Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. I have Alex Pereira by KO in the third round. Let me know your opinion of this fight. UFC 281 next weekend, November 12th, 2022, goes down in New York City at the MSG Garden. At MSG. I'm Jason. The world is yours. Today we had a story about the undisputed UFC middleweight champion says, I'm going to turn the Alex Pereira fight into a horror movie at UFC 281 in New York City, MSG. Thank you for watching.